Can I be angry for a moment? I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts at the Old North Church, where 250 years ago in that steeple, 2 lanterns were hung to warn the American colonists that British troops were moving by sea. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. That signal set off Paul Revere's midnight ride, which warned the American colonists that trouble had arrived. Without that signal, everything, American history, world history, would have been completely different. Signals matter. The ones we receive, the ones we send, and the ones that can save lives. Many trans and LGBTQ youth and their families will tell you that the signals they've been receiving over the last couple of years have sucked. In fact, a lot of those families and a lot of those kids have suffered grief, a lot of rage, and a lot of loss. And that's why I want to create a different kind of signal for trans and LGBTQ youth and their families. Over the next 2 years, right here on this web series, I'll be documenting the production of our new dystopian feature film. It's a movie in the spirit of films like The Hunger Games, Children of Men, and the series The Handmaid's Tale. Our film is called A Still Small Paw, and it's a story of a sensitive 14-year-old boy in an America that has devolved into a dystopia as it passes a fascist mandate to euthanize all small dogs. Our LGBTQ kid hero tries to convince his veterinarian father to disobey the mandate while trying to save his own little dog and struggling with who he is. Our film will be created in public right here on this series, step by step. I'm making it to support trans and LGBTQ youth and their families, and it's a story that I sincerely believe will save lives. Now, over the last few years, through my short films, updates, and activism in Pennsylvania, and amid the harsh rhetoric, legislations, and executive orders coming from Republicans and MAGA leaders, I've been hearing from so many parents, grandparents, teachers, and from trans and LGBTQ youth themselves, and they're all saying the same thing, basically. We're pissed off, we're sad, we're scared, we're frightened, and we don't know what to do. According to a Gallup poll, 22% of all Gen Z adults identify as LGBTQ. And early indicators suggest that the generation coming after them, Gen Alpha, may be identifying at similar or even higher rates. That's a lot of young people who are looking for a new signal. And no wonder. When a culture sends signals of bullying, shaming, and humiliating kids on the world's largest stage, which then gives license to bullies to traumatize these kids further, there has to be pushback. There has to be a story that helps these kids and their families to keep going. I've been quiet on this series for a while because I spent the last year writing the screenplay, developing the story, building the pitch deck, and creating the first proof of concept video. But now that the foundation's built, I'm bringing the project out into the light, and I'm committing to making this movie with you on this web series, all the way to its completion. Let me tell you, I am all in. I'm either going to make this film or I'm going to die trying. As a parent, a grandfather, a former high school teacher, and as someone who grew up as a closeted gay teen in a Christian conservative home and community, somebody who cares deeply about trans and LGBTQ youth, let me tell you, I've set a clear goal. I'm going to produce, shoot, and finish this feature film in the next 2 years so that it's ready for distribution the summer prior to the 2028 presidential election. Why? Because I want this film to become a focusing moment, a powerful source of pushback, an event against the loud rhetoric and legislation that are almost guaranteed to come that will target trans and LGBTQ youth during the next presidential election cycle. And unfortunately, we know why it's coming, right? Because attacking these kids the last time worked. So, from Republicans MAGA, you're probably going to hear more of the same lies, more lies, and scaring people. And from Democrats, you're likely to hear the same cowardly waffling and spineless defenses because, they just rather not talk about trans and LGBTQ youth and their families. Then who suffers? Trans and LGBTQ youth and their families, right? The signal we're sending and they're receiving needs to change now. So I'm excited to tell you what's coming on this web series over the next 2 years. Basically every step in the production process of making this movie. That means finding producers who believe in our story, It means casting the family at the center of the film. And it means launching a national search for the 14-year-old LGBTQ boy who leads the story. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a film with a kid LGBTQ hero at its center? Here you'll get behind-the-scenes updates, interviews with film professionals, conversations with families who've lived through these challenges, and yes, I'll even be calling on some of the celebrities and public figures who have the power to help get this film made. Man, this is going to be such a heavy lift, especially now when the subject of trans and LGBTQ youth has become radioactive, especially now when the film industry is in upheaval and decline, and especially now when, if you're not with MAGA and Republican messaging, you can bet you're going to be threatened and diminished. Even me, recently, I've been getting more hate mail than usual. It sucks, but it's our job, yours and mine, right now, to stand up to this moment, to remind these kids and their families of something vital. Keep going. No matter what, whatever happens to you, you keep going. So, if you believe in this story, and you believe it can help, please visit the website, astillsmallpaw.com. Watch the proof of concept video, read the reviews the script has been getting, which I'm very proud to say have been pretty darn good. Sign up for the Substack. Sign up for the Substack at Sign up for the Substack updates. Like and subscribe here on YouTube, and please consider becoming a backer on GoFundMe. Last year, I poured everything into writing a screenplay when maybe I should have been more focused on fundraising. I'm embarrassed to admit that I'm now in debt up to my eyeballs. I took out a personal loan to cover the half of the budget for Not Losing You that we couldn't raise on GoFundMe, and I still owe the state of Pennsylvania a fine of over $9,000, down from the original $18,000, for my activism against an anti-LGBTQ MAGA state senator.
This is where a Vermont man disrupted a Senate session.
A Vermont man will pay nearly $17,000 after gluing his hand to a railing at the Pennsylvania state capitol.
In protest of a lack of response to trans youth suicide.
He says he was trying to protect transgender children.
James Lance, who's better known on social media as the angry gay grandpa.
Now, if you've donated previously, please know you've helped so much, much more than you know, and in extraordinary ways. For instance, I know that Not Losing You saved lives. I know it did. Read the comments on YouTube if you don't believe me. More than one kid commented saying that the video helped them get through yet another day. Your support got Not Losing You to 2 million views on YouTube and TikTok as well. And you helped cut my activism fine down by half, of which I'm forever grateful. But there's more to go, so please consider becoming a backer on GoFundMe. The link is on the website. So, from the city where a couple of lanterns in a steeple window once changed the course of history, here's my signal. Over the next 2 years, please join me to create this feature film with you, right here on this web series. A story for trans and LGBTQ youth and their families, and for anyone who needs to hear that still small voice that says, keep going. No matter what, whatever happens to you, you keep going. I will wait for that car to pass. That's all right. We'll cut.